the skull, this segment, but not with floss. No, we'll do it a different way. Okay. So sit up and put the soles of your feet together and put the hands behind like we were. And come back to this movement again of just the forward and back. And as you do that, feel very clearly if you sit on your two sitting bones equally or not, or if you have a bias, and if it changes once you've taken your glasses off. And you know, really, your watch really should come off as well. And the money is put up in the front here, the wallets, the jewelry, the watch, all the valuables. Okay, sit smaller and taller, rounding and getting taller. Or going backward. It's not really taller, it's more going backward. And then pay attention as you do that to what happens in your abdomen. So when you take the head back, if you push the abdomen out all the way down to your pubic bone, even a bit lower really, all the way down to the pelvic floor. And actually, since we are talking about the sphincters, push the abdomen out all the way to the sphincters in the back, to the anus in the back, pelvic floor, forward, in as many directions as you can find, and feel what that does to your shoulders and what that does to making the movement of the head going back safer or not. And then would it be possible to feel if you push the belly out more on the right side or the left? Is it symmetrical or asymmetrical what you do with your belly? Or is it can you feel it in the sitting position or not? And then stop a moment, lie on your back and rest. And then bend your knees. And in this position a few times, push your abdomen out, down toward your, let's just call it your sex, all that entails. And then pull the abdomen up and lift your chest. Do that a few times, not the head. The head's resting. Give your head a rest for a little bit. Push the belly out. Make the chest small. Pull your abdomen up underneath your chest. Make your chest big and your belly small. Do that a few times and feel if you can detect any difference. The feet should be a bit apart. So feel if you can detect any difference on the two sides of your abdomen. Go ahead and feel that with your hands. You can assume that the abdomen, the abdominals are a little bit on either side of the navel and a little bit below, a little bit above toward the bottom of the sternum. And now put your right hand behind your left and lift your pelvis, put your right hand on your lower back, put the left hand on the floor underneath your right hand, so you're lying on your two hands. Your left palm is touching the floor. The back of your right hand is touching your lower back somewhere. Put your right leg down long and keep on doing this seesaw movement of the belly. And not the biggest, I mean, it's a full movement, but how can you have it be a full movement by virtue of your awareness, your attention, and not your effort so much? In other words, don't strain to make it, to push the belly out and pull it in. So when the belly, you push the belly out, and then you pull the belly up underneath your sternum, and the sternum lifts, the chest expands, and it's pretty asymmetrical, right? You're in a very asymmetrical position. Your hands are asymmetrical. So is it possible to discern the difference in how the two sides of the abdominals work in this situation? Your right leg is long. So yeah, you're creating a strong bias in your system. Can you feel which side works more now in the abdominals? Both hands are under your lower back if you can. So your right one is touching the lower back. Your right palm is touching the back of your left hand. Your left palm is on the floor. Trying to feel the difference in the two sides of the belly and differences anywhere else. And then change over the leg and change over the hands. And do the same thing. So now you put the you put the right hand, back of the right hand touching the floor, and the left hand on top of that. So the back of your left hand is touching your lower back. You stretch your left leg down long and do the seesaw movement of the breath. And find out if you can feel a difference in the abdominals when you change over the hands like that and you change over the legs. Can you feel that the the side that's working harder is changed over? Good. And take your hands out and rest a minute. And listen to your breathing. Put your legs down. Rest. Listen to your breathing. This time, lift your head and lean on your forearms. And put the soles of your feet together. And in this position, take the movement of the head toward the ceiling and toward the floor, forward and back. Feel the influence of the variations with the abdomen. The lifting of the sternum. Oh, little by little by little by little by little. Some sternums are starting to be able to move. That's it. That's the word move. Oh, that's what you mean by move the sternum. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good. And you see, once you move the sternum, that the head has a lot more protection than if you don't. Because if you don't, you'll do what the people were worried about earlier today. You'll throw your cervicals back and do all sorts of pressure and feel how it's carried now by the chest. That's nice. The whole upper spine in between your shoulder blades can move. And the belly can poof out. And rest again when you need to. Some people don't want to rest. They find it interesting to use more of themselves. Now, lying like that, come back to this. Just lie for a moment and come back to this rolling of your head right and left. Actually bend your knees and do it. Put your feet on the floor. So turn your head right and left. Think a little bit about what he was talking about in the, you can take the eyes. When you turn the head right and left, do you lead with the eyes? Do the eyes follow the movement? And is there a difference in how you turn the head right and left? In terms of the head, the eyes, your eyes? Keep your breathing free while you pay attention to that. And also feeling if your chest is turning a little bit more. Your sternum, your chest, a little softer. Participating more in the turning. And then, now bring your head back to the middle and pick a point, open your eyes, pick a point on the ceiling and fix the eyes on that point. Put your arms down along your sides. Yeah, palms down if you can. And look, pick a point, look at the ceiling, and as you do that, turn your head right and left. But you keep the eyes, it's small movement because you're going to keep your eyes trying to focus, stay on that point, regardless of the movement of the head. And little by little, see if you can do it a little bit faster and a little bit slower without losing a little bit faster and a little bit slower, sorry. A little bit faster without losing the contact of your eyes on that point. Go small and fast and keep your breathing free. And keep your eyes fixated on that point, if you can. Stop it and put the legs down and rest. Bring yourself up to sitting. Put the soles of your feet together. And lean on your hands behind. And do the same movement. So you fix a point now in front of you. And you take the rotation, the turning of the head right and left, and you try to keep your eyes focused on that point. Small and fast. And the breathing free. Just the head now, I think. I mean, the rest of you can move, but it's not going to be a huge movement of the... You're really turning your skull around the axis of the spine. And trying to keep the... Once you do as big a movement as many of you are doing, you're kidding yourself if you think you got the point fixed. It's not a huge movement. So put your finger in front and keep focused on that and see. You can gradually speed it up. Keep your breathing free. Change over the finger. Keep the jaw easy, the tongue easy. Okay. And then just a few times, lean on the hands behind, drop your head. Do the forward and backward movement of your, or take the head forward and then look toward the ceiling and back. Let your eyes move. Let your chest move. Let your abdomen help you. And make it as light as you can. Reduce the effort. And feel how much of your spine you can sense now in the movement. Keep on making it lighter. Keep on spreading the attention. Just a few times, go back to the circling of the head. A few times in each direction. Using, again, go slow. And feel, when do you sit more on your right sitting bone? When do you sit more on your left sitting bone? How does the movement of your sternum help you? The movement of your navel. The feeling that it's safe to take the head backward because a part of your spine in between your shoulder blades is supporting and your middle back is supporting and your lower back is supporting and your shoulders are supporting. Change direction. Rest when you need to. And maybe just one more thing. This will be a new question that we haven't had yet. We'll just stop a moment in sitting. So we have more of the entire self participating in the movement now. And then what would it be like to be able to keep the entire self helping, and at the same time to get to feel more precisely what's happening in this part of the neck? In this part of the neck, to feel more precisely those vertebrae, just for a moment. So what should we do? We should put the whole self into the background and the cervical spine into the foreground. That would be a way, yes? The entire self now moves into the background, cervical vertebra into the foreground. Or play with it, you know, what's in the foreground, what's in the background. And then notice, in order to do that, in order to really actually feel those, your neck vertebra, some people found they had to go slower. Just a few times. Change direction. Change what's in the foreground and what's in the background. You can feel, again, you can feel the kinesthetic thinking going on in the room. Very nice. Not the intellectual thinking, but the sensory thinking. All right, lie on your back and rest. Roll your head right and left. Think from the head down, from the head up. From the base of the skull. The feeling of space to the right and to the left as you turn the head. Space to the right and left, space above and below, all around. Bend your knees, stop the movement, come to sitting. Walk around. Right, so come back in. I'm going to give you 5 extra minutes. Come back at 20 to 2, and we will we will find out which side you like to turn to. Okay, so bring both legs, bring both eyes, and have a nice lunch. I need that. I need to go to those people. Be